Hello, how are you doing? This is Mr. Gerardo again. Um, First of all, thank you for watching this video. And in this video, what I'm going to be showing you is how to make a lot of money generating top-of-the-art images for your websites, for your campaigns, etc. And this is the first video that I do after quite a few years after the last video I did. So bear with me, I'm still learning the new technology on video editing. So this is going to be a rough start, but you have to start somewhere. Uh, so let's start with a use case. What value I am showing you today. First, when you have a business on, let's say, video editing or image creation, just pretty much content, uh, when I used to have my business, well, I am an engineer, so of course I am not a graphic designer. It was very common that when I approached a client and this client said, I need to, I need you to create a website where I need to put a campaign of selling food and you need to create these effects of, let's say, bottles of lemonade with water drops and things like that. Well, what I used to do is I used to spend hours trying to replicate idea from the client. So in my case, as an engineer and not a graphic designer, my workflow was I arrived after work because all of these business that I used to run, it was after work. I went into YouTube and say, okay, GIMP tutorials for making a glass with water effects. And I had to digest all of those videos, and then I just launched GIMP, which is free. I didn't have money back then to have a subscription for Photoshop or anything like that. And then I started to try to replicate some effects. And literally, I used to spend at some time 100 hours just create an image. And the benefit of the image is that you have your layers, so you can change and modify a little bit the design. If, let's say, one of the layers is the time of the year and it's a promotion, you can just replace that layer with another date. You have your fonts. So in a way, it's a little bit scalable for that image alone. However, what happens when there is another client and then this client tells me, hey, Gerardo, I want to create a horse because let's say it's a veterinarian and I want you to make these effects. All these scaling capabilities that I have are minimal to this new use case because in this new use case, now I have to do the same thing. I have to Google GIMP tutorials to recreate an effect. And again, another 100 hours. And yeah, you're starting to get better and better, but it's not scalable because at some point I had to stop at 4 clients. I could have scaled more the business, but the problem is that the learning curve, it was steep. And not only that, that the images that it was my weak point in the chain was very weak, which is coming up with good designs for my website. And so what we're going to be showing you today is how to use AI to streamline this process and come up with amazing, amazing images. Um, First, I want to talk about two things that we're going to be using today. Uh, when you use AI, you're going to use something called prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is how you talk to, let's say, ChatGPT. And when you when you're new in ChatGPT and you don't have knowledge on what's, let's say, prompt engineering, you start to you're a little bit afraid of telling a computer how to understand you as a human because you're thinking you're putting text in a, let's say, in a Google search. You know, it's concise, it's not very long. Actually, if you put a very long sentences in a search engine, it starts to dissolve the idea or the context from what you said before. So you're used to say short sentences, right? So let's go for today's example. Let's say that the client is asking you to do um, an image of a professional woman sitting on a stair because see the client just needs that. So then in prompt engineering, what you have to do is first um, come up with a way to tell uh, engines like ChatGPT, hey, how can I create an image like this? And that's the most important part of it, because it's going, how explicit you are is going to be the success of what you're trying to achieve. Um, and the second part is um, how can you use all of this information to 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 create a good image. So let's get started. And so here, let's say uh, you as a newbie graphic designer, you say, well, I want to create an image of a woman sitting on a stair, and then you start drawing, because there uh, I, you can use a GIMP or things like that, and then you start making sketches, and probably the best results, maybe at least with me, you can come up with something like this, right? And that's when you start your image, and the image will be, well, it's not really nice, right? So let's say in this case, I'm going to okay, I'm going to see what's out there. So the first technique that I'm going to show you is where you can get ideas, because in order to make this prompt engineering is, well, you have to have some sort of a reference what you want. So you can do something like this, right? But I'm going to go to this site, which is called Kittl, and you can have a subscription. I'm subscribed, but you can have access for free. Now, this is the important thing. If you want to use one of these templates, it's okay, and you can use that, and you don't need any AI. You just take one, and blah, you're done. But in a second video, I'm going to show you how you can replace an image with yourself or with a client or anybody else. And for that, you need a prompt. You cannot do that just editing an image. Also, a couple of things. Let's say you want to create a very elaborated images with, let's say, objects, people, dogs, etc. So in the old days, well, not old days, but actually even now, if you don't have images and you put images on Google and start to gather your images from there, the problem is that most of them are copyrighted. And then you have to go to other services where they sell you images, and then the expenses start to pile up. The benefit of having a prompt is that everything that is going to be generated was by a neural network or just a machine learning system or things like that. And with that, then you don't have to spend money on images. So that's very convenient. So for this, let's say you go here and then go to social. Because let's say you want to put this as the client asks you to make this for a social media prompt. And let's say it's a YouTube thumbnail. And then what happens is that, boom, see what's the difference of the contents and idea that you can have for your post. Now compare that with this, right? Whereas a professional one would be something like that. So we're targeting something like this. So when you have these ideas, there is this concept of, are you stealing a design? Are you going to copy and paste this design and just, let's say, this one? Well, actually, let's do something. I already selected one for this case, this one. So you say, well, am I going to steal this image? Well, this is the beauty of this prompting, because what you're doing is that you are having ideas for the composition, not for the image as it is. So you're not infringing any copyright. It's just you need ideas of, in this case, let's just describe it as a human being. It's a woman sitting in a gray stairs with a very nice text and blah blah blah. Which, by the way, I recommend that you don't deal with text at this point. There are tools that can do that, but let's just focus on the image to target something like this. And that's a different step. And I will make a video on applications that are very good to create these images. Sorry, the text. So you are using this as your reference. So let's click here, download, to download this, to continue with the example. And now I already have the downloaded image somewhere here. Bear with me with my process. Again, this is my first video showing my face. And let's see, where is this image? Oh, here it is. Okay, so now let's use ChatGPT. So here is ChatGPT. And what we're going to do is you send to ChatGPT the image. In this case, is this exact same one. And then you say something like this. From the image, create a prompt that will allow me to regenerate the image. And then here is when you start to do prompt engineering. Give details on the person's mood, age, environment, placement in the photo, colors, time of the day, and let's start from there. So what ChatGPT in this case is thinking, and what it's going to do, there, look at this. A professional YouTube thumbnail featuring a blah 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 blah, and then it says like she's poisoning to the right side of the frame with the left side to putting blood, clean photographic, blah 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 blah. Right? Well, there are several tools at this point that we can use, and I'm going to make a video for different tools because, for instance, here that was one of my mouses. I have done this experiment using different tools. For instance, I use Copilot from Microsoft. I use Bing Image Creator. I use ChatGPT, and I use Replicate. We're going to have a video on Replicate because that's the one that actually is going to be able to use your face. And I'm going to show you an example eventually. Yeah, I need to set up that. Well, I'm going to add that in another video on how can you create your own image. So imagine this is your client, so you can create an AI image of your client, and your client is here, or yourself, or whatever. But let's just start from here. So for now, let's use this prompt, and then let's copy it, and then take a look at this. So we're going to do here, and we're going to say the prompt, create an image from the following prompt, and then we're going to see a professional featuring a young woman in her 20s singing another children last operating mood. The environment is urban, suggesting late afternoon, has a long slight warm hair wearing. What I want to look here is the following. We can remove all of this text, but we're going to do just leave it for now. And overall the colors background. Okay, so take a look at this. So we say relax, wearing wearing a white suit, just for that, right? And now let's use the prompt. And this is just the beginning. Trust me, I want to send some videos of some features very, very cool that you can use. So now we're doing, remember, we are copying the composition, not the image. But sometimes it's everything you just need. Take a look at that. So there's the stairs, see? And let's compare to what we had before. See? See the powerful of this. So what you needed at the end is some help. And I'm going to make this transition. You just needed some help to come up from something like this to the image. And then in future videos, I'm going to show you how to use your face. And also, I have software that I've used in these experiments that I'm capturing here in my notes, that there are engines that actually can do something even better. It's just insane. So anyway, for this, it's what I wanted to share to you today. Very soon, I'm going to be setting up a newsletter when I'm going to be showing you all these classes for free that I'm showing you, and also a spreadsheet that I'm going to teach you step by step how you're going to create all of these, so you can just follow it. You can follow the instructions. You don't have to learn AI, you don't have to do all the research. You just follow everything step by step. And well, this is everything for today. If you like the video, please just like it and subscribe to the channel. That will help me a lot to increase my audience. I'm just starting. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day for wherever you are located, and see you around.